everybody, welcome to ProBROknow. Three brothers, three opinions, one topic. Now today, you're going to notice it looks a little different because Spencer is not here. We do have a guest. And maybe
I thought that was Spencer.
Spencer's, you've got some long hair since we saw you last time, Spencer.
He's changed a bit.
Wade, why don't you introduce our guest today?
Yeah, so
our
today,
special guest.
Yeah, today we have Amanda Chester. Amanda is a London-based massage therapist.
Yes. And she agreed to come here.
Yeah, so I think we both talked to Amanda at one point about doing a podcast, and you had expressed interest in men's health and said you wouldn't mind doing it, and it's been on your bucket list. So we said, let's set a date, and here we are.
Why not? Is my usual attitude about
men's health.
About anything. Why not do it, right?
Well, about getting outside of one's comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of why what I say about men's health is why not.
Why do it?
Well, I mean, pizza's working for me.
To Chad, men's health is an oxymoron.
Yes, it is.
That opens up the floor to a lot.
So you wanted to talk men's health, and that's not something that, admittedly, I'm very fond of.
Well, honestly, in general, I wanted to talk about longevity.
Like as in living longer?
Well, not just living longer, because some people associate, when you think about living longer, you think about the older people in your life sometimes,
Yes.
and you might associate that with poor quality of life on the back end.
Sorry, why is that poor quality if we're thinking about that?
Well, just living long, right?
Well, I would actually just propose the question to you.
Okay.
If you could live for 20 years longer than was typical, would you want to?
Would anybody really want me around that long? Is probably a better question.
Can I answer that one for Chad?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's a good question, but it brings up follow-up questions, right? If I'm going to live 20 more years, how am I going to live those years? Healthy or
Yes.
or
Exactly.
bedridden and sore and not in good health?
Yes, I made a joke, but I mean, I get the question. And of course, who wouldn't want to live, if you're healthy, who wouldn't want to live a little longer and have better quality?
Right. And so that leads me to this interest being a massage therapist, is that I've obviously seen people with different chronological ages on my table, but who appear to be much different ages
Like
than
younger?
they are.
Younger
Yes.
or older?
So
Younger.
I've treated,
She's talking about me.
Sorry, she's saying you appeared younger than
I
you
appear
are?
younger.
I don't think that's
I
true.
think it's about me, right? It's me.
Ironman athletes.
Oh, so it is me.
their-
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Versus somebody who lives a sedentary life.
Yeah, you're lazing around on the couch watching TV, not accomplishing anything.
Right. Or
Right.
I think that just the question comes up when you're treating somebody about why certain people may respond to the treatment more than others, or why some succumb to more of the issues that, we all end up facing as we age. And so I've just personally gone down the rabbit hole about it. And I'm curious about your age demographic, because for me, and tell me if I'm wrong, I sometimes feel as though men in your age group kind of stop caring, mostly as a population.
Wow.
Tell me
Interesting.
I'm wrong, but
Not for me.
No.
Okay.
No. I wouldn't say that I stopped caring. I would say that I've embraced the fact that I'm looking older.
Okay.
Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we did a podcast before on aging. So, I mean, we talked a lot about just that in your head, you feel much younger than you really are. But I see what you mean. I think for men and women in our age group, there's a certain percentage that do kind of go, well, it's who I am.
true.
And it's whatever. I have some extra weight. Who cares? It's just part of getting older. And I don't really accept that. I think you can do some things to stave that off or to still look good for yourself and maybe for your partner, and just to enjoy the things you want to enjoy. Because I think for me, during the pandemic and being at home and working from home and sitting at my desk, I noticed a big shift in just my stamina, because I was sitting all the time. So you have to really take the time and take the initiative to do more things, so you don't feel sedentary and basically and have a lack of energy.
And you cannot afford to lose any muscle mass in your legs, I can assure you.
Well, that is actually true. That's something that we combat as we age is muscle loss. I mean, the statistics are a guess, but let's just say 1% more every year as you age past somewhere around your mid 30s. And
You're just saying losing a muscle. Well, you
lose a little bit of muscle more and more as you age.
Okay.
Yeah. Chad's surpassing the 1% a year, I think.
I'm not losing muscle. I'm just gaining girth.
An extra layer, a protective layer over the muscle.
It's a protective layer. Yes.
Yes.
Everybody had that uncle that was like, punch my stomach. See, it's hard.
Yep.
Yeah. It's true. So, okay. So I'm guessing you've been, as you said, going down the rabbit hole about looking into ways to stop this from happening, or at least slowing down the acceleration of that stuff. Is that kind of where we're going?
Well,
because we really don't know what you want to talk about today exactly. So,
well, yeah, I think, I would like to talk about generally what happens as we age and, some things that we can do about it, presumably. Which is a long list, and I could be here for a long time. But I think looking at, not the behavioral aspect of it.
Sure.
And then the nutritional aspect of it. And then, whether or not there are certain supplements or actions or whatever that we can take to combat aging. Mm-hmm. And the behavioral aspect, I think, was the unique piece that I was mentioning, is that as we age too, people are less likely to make big changes in their behavior.
Well, we get pretty stuck in our ways, I think.
I was just going to say that, Wade. I think you get a little stubborn and just kind of like, I'm fine.
Right? Unless you're kind of looking down the barrel of something and the doctor's saying, like, if you don't
Smarten
make
up.
a big change, then...
Lose 50 pounds or else,
Yeah. And I, looking at certain reasons why some people are, genetically more predisposed to, let's say certain things run in your family. I just learned as an interesting fact that you both may appreciate which one of you're taller.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
You had to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You'll get there, Wade.
I have some sad news for you that people, men who are taller generally don't statistically live as long. Wow. I know, but you're...
That is true. I knew that.
Well,
just like,
in that case, I got to go fishing. I got to go.
Podcast is over.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that to be just depressing, but...
Sure. Well, if that's a statistic, I mean...
But I just thought you guys would find that interesting on different sides of the table here.
That's why I choose to be the height I am, because I'd like to live longer.
You chose that at birth?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Because I bet you always got made fun of about that, so I just wanted to give you a comeback there.
Did you wait?
No. Because I'm average.
But there are things that you can do that have a bigger influence or an impact on how you age than just the genetic set of cards all the time that you were given. And so looking at behavioral changes, as you said, like the pandemic caused you to kind of take a look at things and make a shift.
Yep.
And then looking at nutritionally what...
Oh, God.
I know.
I knew we were going to go diet because there's so much that I don't want to eat.
And what don't you want to eat?
Most things that are healthy for me, probably.
Okay.
I'm just not
true.
I'm a meatitarian.
Okay.
I really like my meat and potatoes and whatnot. I struggle with a lot of vegetables. I like your basics, your corn, peas, and beans and potatoes and corn and peas.
And peas and corn.
Yes.
Right.
And did you mention corn?
Yes, corn as well. Yeah, if I didn't say that already.
So you're meeting your protein needs, maybe.
Yes, I'm definitely getting the protein.
Eats a lot of fish.
I eat a lot of fish.
Which is good.
I like red meat. I like chicken. I like most meats, other than maybe liver.
Right. Well,
Does anyone like liver?
Some people do.
Do you like liver? No.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Good. I would have to kick you out of the podcast.
If you said I had to eat liver to live longer, I'm dying shortly.
Well, as you age, your protein needs can be more, and
Yeah.
especially if weight loss or muscle gain is a goal, then you should be eating, like, let's say, at least 0.5 times what you weigh. So that would be that you would be considered malnourished if you ate less than that.
but-
More like 0.8.
Go ahead, Wade.
0.5 of my weight? Is that?
So let's just say somebody who is 150 pounds should be eating, if they're older, eating like 80 grams of protein a day.
Okay.
Oh, 80 grams. I thought you were going to say we had to eat 75 pounds of meat a year.
No.
I was trying to figure out what that stat was.
No.
And so sometimes that is tough to do.
80 grams of protein.
So are you timesing the age by, or the weight by 0.8? Is that what you're saying?
Roughly. Yeah.
So let's just do Chad.
That's a range, though.
So now I have to say what I weigh. Is
You
that,
do, well, we'll do
do you
a
want to guess?
range.
Do you want to guess, Wade?
What you weigh?
Yeah. Do you know?
230.
What?
220, I meant to say.
Holy cow, Wade.
210 is what I said.
Wow. Try again.
Like more or less?
Less.
200.
205.
205.
But not 230.
Well, I'm just guessing.
Not
I
that
don't,
much of a
I
chunk.
don't know. I'm not your height, so I don't know. Times 0.8,
Let's say.
164 grams.
Gee, whew.
Of protein a day?
Is that what that means?
And so you can do a conservative estimate. So do 0.5.
That sounds like a lot.
Okay. 205 times 0.5. 102 grams of protein a day.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
At least.
That does sound like a lot.
minimum. That's the minimum
Really?
that you should.
This is to give me longevity? Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Would it help you sustain your muscle mass? Right?
So any number of things that menopausal women, people facing, osteopenia, osteoporosis, protein is the answer to any number of things that we are facing as we age is kind of a good baseline that we need.
Can I ask what would you say osteopenia?
It's pre-osteoporosis, osteopenia.
Osteopenia?
Yeah. It's what you have before osteoporosis.
Yeah, it's one of those looking down the barrel things. Of,
Gotcha.
okay, I guess
Okay, you're on the road. Yeah,
pay attention to, if you are pre-diabetic or looking at insulin sensitivity.
Yep.
That is a really big factor, obviously, in how we age. And so less sugar, more protein, and to be able to go hungry at some points. Yeah. So that's that.
She lost me at
Oh,
less,
like
sugar.
fasting, you mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So
Really?
that across the board is being talked about all over the place.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear a lot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Does that work?
it does. And so there are a number of benefits. There are longevity benefits. And then also, people clearly do it for weight loss.
Yep.
But if you want to Google a term called cellular autophagy, which basically means self-eating,
Okay.
which means that your body is able to eat up these old dead cells in your system that
Okay.
scientists actually jokingly refer to as zombie cells. We have old junk kind of floating around.
Junk
that-
cells.
Yeah, that we need to get rid of.
Okay.
I probably have
And-
quite a few junk cells. I'm just going to put it out there.
Junk food cells?
Junk food cells. Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
Dorito cells.
Dorito cells? Is that
Yeah.
a thing?
Yeah.
And, it's just interesting when we look at nature too, animals who go hungry for periods of time live 30% longer. And so we see that with humans as well. And
That seems backwards to me. Like, why would, if you're always going hungry, you would think you would be malnourished as opposed to living longer?
You're not always going hungry. You're just taking periods of fasting. It resets your body.
and I think that it affects your insulin sensitivity in a good way. And that cellular autophagy piece, when you move through at least 24 hours or ideally a 36-hour window, there's not an exact science of it, but when you move through a certain time period, it has more longevity benefits in this way.
Yeah, like you could fast for 18 hours a day, but you could do it from the time you had dinner. You finish dinner at 6 at night.
Okay.
And you don't eat until 11 the next day.
I do that most of the time.
That's intermittent fasting. Yeah, but you have a coffee.
Oh, I can't even
You
do
can
a
have
coffee.
you can have a coffee with no milk or sugar. You can have that.
Well, that's actually not maybe true.
Yeah, that's right. Call them out.
Yeah.
Who's the expert here anyway?
I'm not an expert on anything. This is just me being a nerd.
Yeah, no.
Sure.
No.
And
you're a health nerd.
yeah, and so I think it's more about being in a calorie restriction and not having your blood glucose levels go too high.
Right.
And so actually, as long as you stay within a fairly low caloric window, let's say over a 36-hour window, let's say if it was around like the 500 calorie, 500 to 700 calorie window, some would argue that less would have more benefit, but many would argue just so long as your blood glucose levels aren't doing a big jump and you aren't going into full digestion mode,
Right.
that you would still get a lot of the benefits.
And I think that's why I said no sugar in your coffee in the morning, right? Or cream, because from what I've been told, you want to just have the kind of those, if you're going to have anything, those empty calories, like just black coffee or black tea, until you have your full meal at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. That's what I'm
going to stop drinking coffee, honestly, if I can't have sugar in it. It's not well, I guess it is a sugar thing. I don't like the taste of it. Like I've tried black coffee. I don't like it. So I guess that would be one way to get off of coffee.
Well, you could do green tea or some other
I like green tea.
caffeine source.
Do you like green tea on its own, or do you put sugar in it?
So the only time I have green tea on its own is if we go to like a restaurant that serves green tea. You know, like back in the days of the Osso Garden and stuff, they would serve the green tea after dinner, and I wouldn't put any sugar in that, and I would drink it.
And why was that you didn't at that point?
I don't think there was sugar on the table was probably the biggest issue.
But at home, you put sugar in it.
Yes. I drink green tea with lemon regularly, and I put sugar in it, but I put less in. I usually do 1 spoon instead of 2. Is that helpful? No?
Well, here's the thing. So and this may be part of what I dare one of you to do eventually,
dare
but
now.
Yeah, you're going to dare Chad, right?
I was going to get.
I hope it's you.
It's Spencer. He's not here, so he has to
We
be the
should
one
get
to do
Spencer
it.
for sure.
But I'm passionate about meeting people where they're at, and being able to do it in a way that is easier and not about complete deprivation, because the chances of somebody trying and failing just on a water fast are high.
Well, yeah, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the one that I do, you, for instance, drink this botanical drink that maintains your blood sugar level at a low level, but it's kind of just enough, full of botanicals that support your liver and your kidneys and skin to detox.
Do you want to tell us what that's called?
It's called Cleanse for Life.
Cleanse for Life.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
So do you drink that throughout the day, or just that's your breakfast drink?
So you drink it 4 times throughout the day.
Okay.
You drink 4 ounces 4 times a day. And so it's like aloe vera based. There's all these beautiful botanicals in it that help support your detox.
Okay.
And with the idea that just because you're in a fasted state doesn't mean that you can't be consuming things that are of benefit to your health.
Right.
And herbs that help put you in a better mood when you do it, so you're not as likely to be miserable and hangry. And then some emergency approved quote snacks on hand.
Oh,
so
what
that
makes
if you're,
the emergency approved list when you're fasting is what I'm curious about.
I think it's
Chocolate bar?
well,
No, probably not.
No.
they're designed to be just enough to be satiating, but not enough to put you into full digestion mode.
Okay.
And what it's done is made it accessible to a wider population to consider trying it, and to have something about that psychological thing of this is the approved thing keeps you from like, raccooning through the cupboards and the fridge being like, I'll just have this
carbs.
little
Yeah.
snack and then I'll cheat with this one and then it's all over.
So I want to make sure I understand. So
Yeah.
your the fasting that you practice is that you still have little bits of approved
Yes.
snacks or drinks
Yeah.
that don't put you in full digestion mode.
Yes. And
Okay.
so it makes it way easier. So I do this one day a week, or sometimes I do what we call a deep cleanse. So I either do a 36-hour one or I will double that.
Okay, so in 36 hours, what are you eating and drinking? Just the teas and the snacks?
I'm
there's
starving already. I'm just-
There's some approved things. So you drink this cleanse botanical drink all day, and then there's a point system.
Okay.
And so each little thing kind of has a point system attached to it. And so that's different for different people. It's just, whatever.
Are you having any full meals in that 36 hours?
No.
No.
And then you end it on a really clean eating meal. And so it's part of a system that involves protein pacing, and then there's an intermittent fasting component.
pacing.
Yes.
I'm not going to be able to pace any protein if I've got to get 150 grams of it or whatever a day.
You have a lot of fish in your freezer.
Yeah.
Right?
Shh. all my neighbors are like,
fish
send some of that
police.
walleye over right now.
Well, you need it now.
Chad's going to have the protein
Do
truck
the math.
backing up.
Right, yeah.
Bring in the protein.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's another interesting piece is that there are certain proteins that are more bioavailable than other proteins, about how much your body,
Bioavailable.
how much your body uses that as building blocks to, let's say, repair tissue.
Like
Build
plant-based
muscle.
protein versus
right.
meat protein.
Right. That would probably be the part that I'm lacking in my diet is the
It's the plant
plant-based
part.
protein.
Well, you do need antioxidants, for example,
Yes.
from your fruits and vegetables
Like
to fight aging.
goji berries. Excellent.
100%.
You know what? I love the pomegranate juice. Isn't
Yeah.
that got lots of antioxidants?
For sure, because that definitely contributes to aging.
Nice.
And so
Depends what's in the juice, though. Have you looked at the ingredients?
On the
Oh, the sugar.
on the palm or whatever?
Yeah, on the palm.
No,
it's a good point.
it's got a lot of sugar. I take it.
Well, a lot of drinks do, depending how they make them, right? If it says, it might say
Natural
no
juice.
added sugar, but it's still high in the natural sugars, right? Or it might say no sugar, and then it has sucralose or something like that in
Yes.
it.
But
Yeah.
I thought no added sugars. Like I thought natural sugars were basically okay, like good for you. No.
I think there's, a theory that some sources of sugar are better than others. I don't make a claim to know that for sure. But like high fructose corn syrup is obviously
It's
everybody
definitely
knows
bad, yeah.
is bad.
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean,
Glucose. Yeah.
yeah, some people think things like molasses or some things are supposed to be like absorbed slower or, maybe better sources, but
And I don't know a ton about it either, but it has to do with your glycemic index and how.
Yes.
So, like maple syrup is better, has a lower glycemic index than white sugar, I think, something like that. So certain things are better than others, but sugar is still sugar,
Yeah, I
right?
get it. Yeah, sugar. Obviously, sugar is bad for you, and I understand that. That's my nemesis.
Yeah. So, and there are ways to combat that and curb that too. Obviously, upping your protein or pairing sugar with protein. Nutritionist,
Okay.
if you're this concerned about your blood sugar levels, will probably tell you that. That's why, if you're going to eat your dessert, have some protein with it.
So question for you, Chad. Sure. You don't eat breakfast, right? You have coffee and that's it?
Very rarely do I have breakfast. Yeah.
2 cups of coffee, 1 cup of coffee?
I'm usually a 2 cup. I don't usually go to a 3rd cup. Sometimes late morning or something I might, but generally 2 cups. Yeah.
And 2 sugars in each coffee
Yes.
with cream?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a
And then
new
when do you-
low-cal version that I'm taking.
yes. And then when do you eat lunch?
Between 12 and 1.
And are you starving when when 12 o'clock comes around?
No.
You're not.
No.
Interesting.
That's actually good.
So I mean,
It is good.
sometimes
Yeah.
I'm hungry at lunch, but generally speaking, I actually miss lunch a lot, which is also probably not good.
Other than spiking your blood sugar right away with all the
Right.
sugar in the morning straight off the hop, skipping breakfast, they used to say you got to have breakfast. You
Well,
got to have
that's-
breakfast.
yeah.
But that's kind of not super true anymore.
Well,
And
I can say, like, from just being on my trip, being away, I ate really a huge full breakfast every single day: eggs, bacon, juice, home fries. I mean, the gambit. Strawberry banana pancakes. I mean,
Wow.
I ate it all.
But then did you have lunch?
I did, but my point was, what I was going to say is that I normally don't eat the breakfast, and I ate that every day, and I actually really enjoyed having the breakfast every day.
you got
I
used
felt
to it,
good.
yeah.
But we were also out on the water, and we were fishing for hours, and out
Yeah,
on the lake.
you're doing what you
it
love.
gave me some energy, I think, to keep going for the day.
nice. And I think another component which leads into that, because you seem to be living the retirement dream with the fishing
Sometimes,
and
yeah.
all of it and whatever, which is stress being a factor in
Or
in aging.
It's actually lack thereof at this point.
Yeah.
All this aging you see now, this is from the last 10 years.
Well, it's funny because certain stress can help as far as longevity goes, and then
Interesting.
other kinds maybe
Moderate
don't.
levels of stress are,
Moderate-
are helpful.
What? Why is that?
Like perhaps maybe doing a cold plunge
Oh, God. Here we go.
might put you in a stressful state,
That would be stressful, yeah.
but in a way that actually may benefit you. Because we all got a little bit too comfortable, and certain situations that you can put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, like fasting, for
Yeah.
instance, or maybe doing a cold plunge, theoretically may have a positive impact.
I know everybody's into this cold plunge thing, Wade. I don't really understand it.
I was just going to say, so I happen to know that you have one at your house. And if one of your requests or challenges for us is to do a cold plunge,
yeah.
I will do it.
Oh,
But
okay.
I need a place to do it at.
Yes.
So
My house is up for grabs.
Okay, I will do it.
Okay.
Because
So
I do want to do a cold plunge.
So here's
So
my
why
theory.
is the-
Men
is
like
the question.
doing it more
Do
than
you?
women. And it's just a hunch. I have nothing to back that up on. Adam does it every day, and it's annoying now because we don't have a lot of freezer space, and now it's filled with all these containers of frozen water. 'cause
okay.
he's
So
obsessed
yours
with
is
it.
not a refrigerated type. Yours, you physically just put water in there and then throw some ice in to make sure it's cold.
Yeah, he has
Like,
to
it's
fill
not
it
a
up every
refrigerated
single
unit.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a challenge in the summer because it requires quite a lot of ice to get it down to at least, you have to have it at least 10 degrees or colder, or else there's no point.
You couldn't do it?
Well, I mean, listen, if she's daring me, I would do it. I'm not sure why I would want to do it. Exactly.
That's going to be you.
It is going to be. Yeah. I know.
So the benefits that it could have are, it can help your immune system, it can help your mental alertness, help your circulation, because as you know, when you're freezing, your blood goes into your core to like protect
Right.
your organs.
Right.
And then when you're hot again, when you get out and you're acclimatizing, the blood goes back out into your extremities. So that filtration process of your blood circulating in your body is sped up, and in theory could be beneficial for detoxing, for decreasing, of course, cold, decreasing inflammation, maybe helping with
That's why I wanna do
inflammatory
it.
pain,
For inflammation.
boosting your immune system.
And for you, you've got your back hurts a lot. That would help you.
I guess so. From what I understand, the ideal situation that people talk about that don't have a plunge tub, doing the what do they say? Standing in the shower, just freezing cold, right? And then turn it off and just sit there and shiver for X amount of time, and then put it on the hotter and do the same thing, and so it's like roasting you, and then stop and then do the cold and just keep reversing that. Is that true?
Yeah. So in massage therapy school, I actually had to do a hydrotherapy course, and it doesn't have to be extreme to have a benefit. If you
Okay.
just wanted to start small, as long as
that's
there's
me.
at least a 10-degree difference,
Okay.
That's not bad.
and you could even,
That's all, 10 degrees.
yeah, and you want to end on cold.
You want
wants
to end on cold.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
No, that's the bad part.
You have to
Yes.
end on cold and get out of the shower.
Why though?
I didn't write the book. I just read it.
But you know why that is? Like, what's the rationale for ending on cold?
Is it bad if I don't remember? Do I fail
No,
the
that's okay.
podcast
That's
exam?
okay. You could just make it up,
I don't
or you could just say because I said so, Wade,
That's
and I
right.
will accept that.
Have you
Because I'm
guys
the
been to a
authority.
spa? You know, one of those temperature controlled, like Spa Nordique. Have you heard of those hydrotherapy spas?
I have heard of them. I have not been.
The only thing I've been in is a deprivation tank,
Oh,
which was cool. I did like that.
Oh, you did the salt. You did the
Yeah, where you're floating in the dark, just with your own thoughts for
yeah
half
in
an
the
hour,
salt
an
in
hour.
the salt
Yeah.
bath. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
well, meditation is also supposed to be a biohack, if you will.
These are all
So let's talk about
Yeah.
meditate. Do you meditate?
I do.
Yeah, so do I. Do you meditate?
yes.
On the lake with the fishing rod.
Well, you're fishing.
Yes.
You
No,
are.
I don't meditate.
You're practicing mindfulness when you're fishing, for sure.
Yes. I mean, definitely when I am fishing, that is my form of meditation, and that's the most relaxed that I am at any time. If I'm out there just floating on the water, it's quiet. I don't hear anything but, nature and the sound of the water. That's my meditation.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not sure if it counts, but that's what it is.
No, it actually does. If you were hyper fixating on it, so let's just say you didn't have, or you were letting the thoughts float by, but not focusing on them, and you were just listening to, super hyper aware of, let's say, the nature sounds that you were listening to, or you were staring very intently at a sparkle on the water or whatever it is.
Sure.
So that you were the most in a state of either hyper focusing so much that you lose kind of personal awareness in a way, or that you're thinking about nothing as much as possible.
You're zoning out, essentially.
Yeah. So, yeah, mindfulness is about nothing else around you matters except what you're doing at that moment. You're very mindful of where you are and what you're hearing, and nothing else is invading your thoughts. And then meditation could be you're focusing on that ripple of water, and everything else disappears.
So
lose
sounds to me like I'm covered. I got it.
Yeah. But have you ever actually put music on and just sat and actually focused on your breathing and like done box breathing or diaphragmatic breathing and meditated?
I'm going to say that's a no.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that should be his dare. What do you think?
Oh, that's a good dare.
That's not much of a dare. You're going to tell me to just breathe quietly?
Oh, meditation's actually hard. It's hard to become very
I'm
accustomed
not
to
making
it.
fun of meditation. I'm just saying that you make it sound rather simple as far as a dare is concerned.
Well, I mean,
Well, then maybe we should make it like
should we
eat
up
more
the ante?
veggies.
Should I say go to a 10-day silent meditation retreat? I did that once.
Did you?
I
A
don't.
silent meditation.
Wow.
No.
For 10 days.
Yeah, see, that's
Oh, geez. Total silence?
my
No-
sister-in-law
no
has done
talking.
that. She's done the same thing.
No talking.
Really?
My
at all.
sister-in-law, yeah.
Wow.
No talking. Yeah.
Is that Tina, was that the no talking?
Yeah, she did the silent one.
Wow. And did you like that?
You know, there are moments as a mother that I fantasize about going back, but I can't leave my children for 10 whole days.
You would make the sacrifice and do it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet silence.
Yes. Well, very true. Very true. And your kids are younger, so
It's noisy.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm curious, Amanda, if you had to give the people listening to this podcast or to Chad and I, say three
Biohacks.
three biohacks, 3 tips that might be, they can be simple or they can be more complex. It's kind of up to you. But 3 tips that are doable that anybody could kind of just incorporate into their daily life to potentially increase their overall health and live longer. What would those be?
Very deep.
Well, I would always say, you'd have to talk to your doctor if, you were on any certain
Yeah.
medication or
Sure.
you have certain, I don't want to, give out
Yes,
advice that
medical
I
advice. Mhm.
shouldn't.
Of course.
But I would say meditation is something everybody could definitely benefit from. Even just 15 minutes a day.
I was just
Yeah.
just going to ask, how long do you need to meditate to get the benefit?
Well, for your dare, 3 hours a day.
I can't even be quiet
He's
for
just
that
going to
long.
go fishing.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, yeah, 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that just overall looking at how we can combat stress, and then protein pacing with some really high quality protein, and taking a look at, decreasing the amount of kind of crap junk food that we're eating.
Explain protein pacing.
Yeah, I was just
so
going to
you're
ask that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not like, loading it all up just at dinner and then you're lethargic and
Oh, you're
then
spreading out your protein.
crap.
That's what you mean?
So you're
Well, it's pretty tough to get 100 grams of
Yeah.
protein in one meal. So
Yeah.
that's the challenge. And I think
how much protein would be in a one chicken breast, let's say? Do you know?
171 grams.
Oh, that's what? That's
and that sounds like an entire chicken.
So for me, I just have to eat one chicken breast a day then, according to that.
Protein and chicken. Oh, I think that's a whole chicken. That's a whole
gonna
chicken.
say.
That was half of the farm.
That's a lot of it in a breast.
That was an entire pen of
just
chickens.
need
Yeah,
to eat
that's
a
a whole chicken.
Yes.
hen.
Yes. Actually, eat the entire hen. That'll get you.
You just have to have a farm. You'll be good. Like, I'm gonna look at this again. Give me one
Yeah,
second.
go ahead, try again. Anyways, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. So I would say definitely meeting your protein needs. And you usually crave less crap when you are doing that
I think
as well.
that's true. Yeah.
I think that obviously intermittent fasting has many anti-aging benefits. And I mean, there's so many. Hey, here's one that we don't think about, which is actually loneliness being one of the things that many
I can see
people
that
as they
aging you.
age
Yes.
face.
Well, look at how many people lose their spouses
Yeah.
and then just completely go downhill super fast.
Yeah. And,
Right.
now because of all of the entertainment we are exposed to, have you ever seen the elders plug their hearing aids into their cell phones or the TV, and they can just go right into the matrix and they don't need to talk to anybody or whatever? And I've treated people who've literally told me, I haven't heard the sound of my own voice in 3 days until coming to your appointment. And they say that's one of actually the biggest pandemics is that people aren't as
Talking.
connected
true.
physically into a sense of community or,
Yeah.
and that has an effect on your cognitive health as you age.
Oh, the pandemic did a lot of damage.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot. So just quickly, I did look up one chicken breast. So earlier on, we said for you,
It was
weighing
like 150 or
weighing
180.
320 pounds,
320.
weighing 205 pounds, your
Yes.
protein should be around 102 grams.
Oh, I thought it was 150.
Well, we did 25.
That was the ideal.
We did 25.
This
so
was like, if this lower number is like you're malnourished.
Oh, I see.
You're
so
not
let's say
meeting that
so
need.
let's say 120, 130
Okay,
grams
sure.
a day, and one chicken breast is 54 grams of protein.
So that's not bad. That's
So
a couple
that's
of chicken
almost-
breasts.
that's
But I
almost-
mean, look up. Just do me a favor and look up like a 16-ounce New York.
Well, no, I'm curious to know what your fish is because you eat a lot of fish,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's. I don't know if you could look up pickerel or walleye specifically. I don't know if that would work, but I would be curious because I do eat a lot of fish. So we had protein pacing.
Yeah. Dealing.
I already forgot the other one. Meditating.
Yeah, and so
Meditating.
that dealing with stress, the system that I might dare one of you to maybe
Wait.
try, it centers around 3 pillars, which is protein pacing, intermittent fasting, and also adaptogens that help stress.
Adaptogens that help
Yes.
stress. You're gonna have to
Yes.
explain that.
Yes.
I know.
Do you know what an adaptogen
No,
is?
I don't.
Okay. So you've probably heard of some, like ginseng is an adaptogen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And so because stress plays a role in aging, and our cortisol levels in today's world rise throughout the day,
Off the charts,
and and they're too high as we're trying to go to bed, and then we're watching all this screen time and then trying to go to sleep, and it does affect how we keep fat around our midsection, and why we want to stress eat the junk, and it affects a lot of things. So the system that I might dare you to do has the components of being in more of a calorie restriction, but in a way that's easy and doable.
Okay.
With 1 to 2 fasted days. So you could do the easy way or the more hardcore way. It'll be up to you.
So 1 to 2 days in a month? Is that
So I'm proposing either you want to do an 11-day one or a 30-day one.
Sorry.
Okay.
What am I eating for 11 days? Nothing?
Okay.
Wheatgrass and barley grass.
Come on. Is there a can of Coke in there?
Have you ever had lawnmower clippings? It's kind of like drinking that.
Nice.
So
I love it.
So the one that I...
Yeah, explain 11-day fast, because I'm curious.
Okay, so it's an 11-day system involving replacing 2 meals with a super nutrient-dense protein smoothie, which...
So
okay. I do that.
I actually could do that.
I do that now.
Giving up 2 meals to have a smoothie instead.
Yes.
Is basically what you're saying. I could probably do that.
Yeah. And then you can eat a reasonably healthy dinner.
Well,
reasonably
like
healthy.
you could have your fish.
Okay,
and
sorry. So you're saying dinner is the only meal of the day, and the smoothie
you
is
have
the
snacks.
breakfast and lunch.
You can have
snacks.
snacks.
You can have snacks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all right then.
And then
you could do that?
At
At supper, you're going to reach for the Doritos. You're going to be like,
Well, she just said I could
Like
have
ravenous.
snacks.
reasonable snacks.
yeah.
Oh,
You could do, and if you do a 30-day, you can have one cheat
cashews.
meal.
Would cashews count? Is this reasonable? Because
yeah,
isn't
you
there
can
good
have
fat?
cashews.
That's a good
Isn't there
snack.
good- Yeah. There's good-
Almonds are better. The
Yeah.
cashews are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry. So
That's okay.
I
We're
do.
chatty.
I make smoothies now.
Okay.
But I do find that I'm pretty hungry even after I drink one of those, and I do put a lot of protein in it.
Yeah.
I don't put protein powder, but I have Greek yogurt, spinach,
Yep.
flaxseed,
Yep.
Wow.
banana, blueberries.
I'm not worthy.
and
Way to go.
soy milk.
Well, that
Jeez.
sounds really, really good. Just first of all.
On the surface.
No, that's a great smoothie. The ones that I use are, you have the choice between a plant-based one or whey. Now,
Yep.
I don't know if people have heard of
Whey protein.
Yeah, I
Yep.
know way.
Yeah, so apparently, like, whey protein is the most bioavailable protein that you can get. That's why it's so popular.
Like
Your
working
body,
out at the gym kind of protein. Yeah.
well, your body uses it as building blocks, and so it uses it to repair tissue and so forth really effectively, and can be very satiating.
Okay.
And so then there are all these components of a healthy meal, like, they've worked it out scientifically of like the exact portion of healthy fats to healthy carbs in a smaller calorie package. Because if you tried to do it all yourself and fit it in your Vitamix blender
Right.
in under that many calories with that much nutrition and protein
Right.
yourself, it would be pretty tough to do it. If that makes
So
sense.
I could add some whey protein to my smoothie and probably be okay.
Well, I haven't measured all the components of what
Right.
yours is compared to, the ones that I do.
Yep.
But it is tricky sometimes to get the right profile of the protein to fats to carbs. And if you want to like measure you're this part of banana and you're that part of
Right.
this and spend all day making your smoothie, okay. But I don't have time
Yeah, I'm not doing
because
that.
I have 2 businesses and 2 kids and whatever. And I just want to make a shake in 60 seconds and
Yeah.
drink it and have
Yeah.
it taste good. So that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it involves that and some supplements that help boost your metabolism. And then something that helps you to sleep and helps you process that extra protein. Everyone's heard of
That one,
magnesium
yeah.
being a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then some other things that help you sleep and help you detox overnight. And then there's 1 to 2 cleanse days, aka supported fast days a week. And then you take some plant adaptogens.
Supportive fasting.
I tried to just
I
skip
love
over
it.
It makes
that
it
one.
sound all
Supportive
so
fasting.
Yeah.
luxurious, but
It's like-
somehow I don't think so.
So in the
Fasting for
11-day system, you're fasting for 2 days.
So here's the thing: the 11-day versus is like the hardcore one. There are 4 cleanse days in 11 days. It's not for the faint of heart.
Okay, so if you do a 30-day,
you still only do 4 cleanse days,
Okay.
but they're spaced out in 30 days. So you can
I see.
I would do that.
front load
A
them
month?
or
I would do a 30-day system, sure.
Well, you're already kind of half
The
doing it
question
now.
is, will you do it?
30 days. You're asking a lot. I mean, I could
no.
talk myself into trying something for a week.
so
And
I
if I
have to
liked
tell
it, yeah.
you, my buddy Evars,
Yes.
he lost almost a decade ago the equivalent of a pound of a bag of dog food around his midsection. And in his retirement year as a police officer, he had to do a fitness assessment.
Yep.
And he compared it to his rookie year as a cop. The test scores of, I don't even know what they make them do. Run this much,
It's a pin.
do this.
It's called a pin test.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And he scored better in his retirement year as a police officer than his rookie year.
That's amazing.
And he's kept off that bag of dog food since
I don't.
almost 10
I don't like
years
to
later.
think about it as being a bag of dog food around my waist.
He had one. I'm not saying
but the
you
truth
had
is,
one,
like,
but-
I mean, that is an area. If I was going to focus on something,
Yeah.
that's probably my number one area.
Yeah.
Well, that's for men carry it for the most part.
men, yeah.
And women. And so it's interesting. They compared this system to the number one most doctor recommended diet, which is a healthy diet, which is common sense, which is your lean protein and your, all the things. And they actually measured people's visceral fat in MRIs, like they did cross sections, and people lost at least 56% more visceral fat doing this system compared to the most doctor recommended common sense diet. And they pick different populations that have the toughest time losing it, which is women who have moved through menopause.
I'm personally in menopause right now. Menopause.
But we both have partners who are in menopause.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you and I both suffer from the whole sleep thing. I'd be interested in something that would help me sleep better.
Okay.
Just get better quality of sleep, not so broken.
Yes.
Because I wake up so many times a night.
Yes.
So I just, even though, my wife will say, "What do you mean you didn't sleep? I heard you snoring all night." It's very broken. So it's just little bits and pieces.
Yes.
If I wore my, watch to bed as she does, I'm sure it would.
I was going to ask
would have
you,
no
do
REM.
you use your watch to monitor your sleep?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I don't like wearing the watch to bed. I just don't like anything on my wrist while I'm sleeping.
Alcohol definitely doesn't help the situation
No,
for
I'm
sure.
not a big
in
drinker,
this-
so that's not a
No.
big deal.
Yeah. And cutting out screen time and blue light, like at least 30 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep can help.
That's tough because I watch TV to get to sleep, right?
Exactly. If you could how much you want to bet if you tried
mean-
reading an actual book, you'd be possibly, I don't know how many times you still wake up in the night, but you might possibly be asleep in 3 pages.
Yeah.
That could be a dare.
That's a tough dare because
that is
I
tough.
also use the TV to go to
Yes.
sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also, because I'm not a big, I like reading self-help books. I like reading educational books, but to just read like a novel, like my wife
Yeah.
can
No way.
can burn through 3 novels in
Yeah.
a week, and
Same as
Wow.
mine.
I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Wow.
I can't
Yeah.
do that.
She reads a ton. I have to be super highly entertained or interested in the topic. Like, yeah, I could, the last time I read a book or a novel, probably a grade 8 book report. I mean, I don't know.
We have to find him what, like
Yeah,
the
it needs-
fishing
it need-
mystery.
The fishing mystery,
Fishing mission.
the fishing murder mystery.
Yes, that's
Who
right.
killed the pike?
Who killed the pike?
Yeah.
No, it has to be super interesting for me to do it. I I would really struggle with. If that was the challenge, I'd be in trouble because I just don't enjoy it that much.
I feel like we should put a bunch of challenges in a hat and
that's-
like
And just draw
pick
one.
That's how we should finish this.
We could do that. So
Yeah.
back to your 30-day thing.
Yes.
So if we decide to do this,
Yes.
if Chad pledges today to do this 30-day
Or
thing,
if
or 11
yeah,
day,
sure.
I'll do a 31.
Really?
Will you
Okay.
actually map it out of how we should do it? Will you write everything down and how we should?
Of course, I will be your coach, and there's community support. There's beautiful guides
For the
with
low
all
cost
the,
of $27.99. No.
But wait, that's not all.
No.
If you're
We'll
one
throw
of
in
the first
some
100
steak
callers,
knives.
we'll also include.
No, but if you actually could kind of just map out what we should be doing kind of over those 30 days, I would
Yes.
give it a try.
Yes, so it comes with a beautiful guide that tells you everything to do. There are even QR codes. You wave your phone over it and it pops up a whole bunch of things. And then how I coach people through it too, is when they get their box of stuff and they FaceTime me with a Sharpie marker, and I make sure, even if they don't even open their guide, they know what to do. And I check in with them as much as they want checking in. And
Okay.
yeah, we could measure the results too
Okay.
and see what results you get, both anecdotally and,
Okay.
some other measurements that you would ever feel comfortable with.
So what I will commit to doing today, for at least at the minimum, will be a cold plunge.
Okay.
So get Adam to set it up at
Okay,
your house there,
let's
and
go.
we'll do a cold plunge.
Just bring
Okay.
over like 60 bags of ice.
And if you
Pretty
want
much.
if you want to film it, we can actually show it at the next podcast as I'm not breathing in the
Yes.
in the bath, because one of my friends does it and swears by it. He and his wife do it, so I would do that, and then I'd be interested in the 30-day
Okay.
system. So what's your dare?
So,
What are you going to do?
So I will pledge to watch Wade do a cold plunge.
I will sit there and have a hot
I'm not
chocolate
sure if I
as
want to do a
he's
cold
doing.
plunge. I might do it, but I'll
Oh,
tell you
come
what
on.
I'll do.
We'll both do a cold plunge.
Okay. Okay, fine.
I just want to go first. I don't want to be in your bathwater,
No,
dude.
you don't. Yeah, okay.
So I just want
That's
to
all
go
right.
first.
The ice will kill all the bacteria. No, I will. I guess I'm going to commit to doing a cold plunge. I was
Okay,
not going to
and
do
we're
that.
going to volunteer our younger brother Spencer to do a cold plunge too.
Sure. Why
It'll
not?
be cold plunge party.
And,
Yeah.
and the only other thing I will pledge to read up on this 30-day deal.
Okay.
And
Yep.
give it some serious consideration. I don't want to
Okay.
start with too much on my plate.
Yeah. Yeah. You could
He is retired. He doesn't have a lot of time on his hands.
right? You could try a new bedtime routine for just even one time.
Like, as in,
Well, no,
like
but-
reading a few pages.
No,
of-
I mean you use the good word. It is a routine. Like all the
Yeah.
research talks about.
It's just habit, right?
It talks about a bedtime routine and
Yes.
doing the same thing every night to get your body ready and primed for sleep.
Because sleep is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't get to buy the credit back from the lost sleep, sadly.
it's very true.
Sucks.
That's very interesting. I did not think I was going to get sucked into doing something, but what?
Hey,
Why not? Wade?
YOLO, buddy. You only live
YOLO.
once, right?
Well, I think all of this discussion is a great segue into our sponsor, Wow Finds Worldwide, because they sell a ton of Canadian-made health and wellness type products for both people and pets. And if you use the code ProBROknow on their site, you get 15% off. So
Sweet. I'll check
to
them out.
Yeah, you should check them
Yeah.
out. Lots of great stuff there. We've tried some of the mushroom coffee and some of the teas.
You
and
got it right. You didn't call it mushroom tea.
I
Good
know.
for you.
I did do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That
Anyway,
was
Nice.
it's been
I'll
a
check
pleasure
them out.
having you, Amanda. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
and joining
This
us.
was really fun.
Yeah.
good. Yes. Thanks for coming.
Anytime
let's
your
do it
brother
again.
wants to skip out,
Yeah, you're in there, eh?
right?
Well, I think we have to film the cold plunge, and
Yes.
then we'll kind of show it at the next
Sure.
podcast.
We just incorporate the video into what we're doing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well,
Let's
thank
do
you
it.
again, Amanda. Come again some other time. We'll make that happen. I guess you'll have to come for the video
for the
evidence.
follow-up?
Yeah, the video
For sure.
Video
Okay.
follow-up.
Or at least a call in or something. Yeah.
Yes,
For sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Anyway, tune in next time to Pro Bono.
That's right.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.